environmentally friendly.
You don't think being a geologist can be environmentally friendly?
I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying you're not passing on proper information.
Well, but not with the mine. Geologist isn't all about. Geologists do way more than mining, right? So don't put the label geologist on mining. There's plenty of.
And Canadian mines are the dirtiest in the world. We know that. That's out there. That's fact. Canadian mines are doing the dirtiest work all across the planet. So we know that the problems are going to be here. We just want to, what we're trying to do is just get more information and let our concerns be known. I'm a teacher and I've taught children to ask a lot of hard questions. I try to get them to, don't take advertising. You've got to kind of go deeper, and that's kind of that's all we're trying to do. We're not taking this is hard. I know it's certainly not attacking the person.
Listen, no, I understand that.
But you're the representative right now for us, right?
And I understand.
So,
like I said, I grew up in this province as well, and I understand your concerns. So the question is, number one, is how do you want to be engaged?
Fully and full consent.
We want to say, yes, this goes through, no, it doesn't. We aren't happy with these things, these places, the secure safety measures you put in place are not adequate. We want to say, no, you can't do this.
Of course, because we're the stakeholders. Everybody is
we
a
own this
stakeholder.
place. So we have to be able to say, you know, that I'm willing to poison millions of gallons of water forever, and you know that it's forever. It never comes back.
You're assuming number one that that's going to happen.
But there's a risk. We know that there's a risk, and I don't want to live with
There's a risk when they turn off.
And you don't want to live with that risk either. You live in Harvey, but this is when the kids are here. You would not want that risk. You would not want your grandchildren to grow up in that environment. So unless you evacuate the entire watershed, you would have to move 500,000 people, and many of them would not move. I'm sure of that. What are you gonna do, right? Like, this is not the future, and you've heard here. I mean, there have been people not even asked for permission. None of us, nobody has been asked for permission. And this is, I think, all. What we're here for today is, for me personally, I was appalled that this is a children's event. So I don't like mixing mining and children. This to me is unethical. I don't like that.
Okay,
but
fair enough.
you know, that's for me. But now the question is, since I have the opportunity here to speak to you as the representative, I want to tell you I live down 10 kilometers downstream. I'm very concerned. Not even just, I have 2 children and I'm one person, we're one family. Well, there's thousands that live in this direct watershed, but further down plenty more. So, and I'm sure if you really truly would go around, give a proper, as you say, you have a presentation, you let people know what this is about, and there's someone else, or you yourself, show properly what are the risks, maybe not certainties, but risks, and then you go around, ask every person, are you for that or not? In a referendum style, then you have your answer. If people of New Brunswick then say yes, and I don't know about First Nations, that might be another separate thing, because if they don't give you permission in the first place, it doesn't even matter if New Brunswickers say yes or no.
Legislation to get proper practice.
Yeah. So this is this is 2 separate things. So if, basically one would override the other, I would say.
My other concern is we're in the cusp of climate change. I don't think anybody can deny that weather's changing, water's rising, and this is an open pit mine, is it not?
Yeah.
The chances of this thing flooding, water being taken, that poison traveling, you keep it in a pit for a reason, not because it's safe. So that the chances of things going wrong there are huge, and probably likely. So that's another concern that I have about this whole project. And even the young people who might get hired, and that's a big might, because these companies usually bring the workers with them, but they, because we don't have people trained to do this here, that what I want my child, I have 2 sons, what I want my sons working in an industry, which may or may not be looking after their health as well as they could. Will they know what poisons they're dealing with? Will they know, which I know in areas of Alberta, and some of these kinds of, not this particular activity, but 911 is not allowed in. They're not allowed 911 in, and it's all on site. So and there's a lot of concerns, and I guess we're just bringing them up.
No, and I appreciate that, so I
These are all
guess.
questions we're, and you can take them to,
No, and you know what, when we get the environmental impact assessment done, when we get the feasibility study done, when we can define the metallurgy, and these are due to be done this fall, in September, then we'll get out there and we'll talk about those, and we'll do the community meetings, and we'll bring in the engineers and whatnot, so. But right now, like I said, right now, in all honesty, the answers just aren't there yet, they're really not, they will be within the next month or two. They will be within. As I was telling Mark, you know, there was a time years ago when the company would come in, the environmental impact assessment would be done, and then it would be out to the public and say, here's the project, here's the environmental impact assessment, you have X number of days.
Well, but you're proposing the same thing.
Well, we've been out and around and trying to get out there for
The
years.
EI will be done in September and then you go consult. You don't even need to do, like basically after the EI, the project is done. Why then you go afterwards? Because do we then still have a chance to say no?
Yes, absolutely,
How?
absolutely.
How are we gonna do
There's
this?
a
How?
public meeting, the provincial government is mandated to have a public
And
meeting.
where is that gonna be?
Where is it?
In a little village in Stanley where you have 100
Well, you
people
have
coming
to talk to
to?
the government about that.
Well, but you as a company representative can make sure you have clean business, right? You're making a clean
I agree,
business.
I agree.
And you can say, you know what? The easiest way would do it in Stanley, but you know what? The proper way to do it is to do it in Fredericton, in Stanley, in Teignmouth, in Durham, in all those places, in the First Nations communities, St. Mary's, and who else is all the directly impacted places, and not like the shale gas thing happened in a few select things. If you want to do clean business, that's what you stand up for. And you say, you know what? I know this might be risky, but I cannot push through with my head through the wall and just do a quick and dirty trick. There's too much at stake, for this and for all of this around.
The old saying is, you learn something new every day. Did you learn something the last 15 minutes?
Heard it all probably.
Well, no, I haven't. And you know what? I appreciate the approach. I really do.
well, thank you, that's not all, you know, don't always get that response, and I appreciate that.
No,
you listen
listen.
to us, because it's really important that we talk about this early on, and,
It's not that
Understand that dialogue is not confrontation. Except that principle going in. Okay?
Except for what?
Dialogue is not confrontation. Okay, so let's accept that principle going
I
in.
think we're doing pretty good so far.
Yeah.
well, we have expected sent out our way, and I
No, I
appreciate-
want to know the best way to engage you, and this is what I'm finding out right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, when the science is done, when the feasibility is done, then let's sit down and have this discussion.
But not private, not on a round table, because we're doing this right now, right? Like, we're having right now a little round table here, we don't need this.
But we're on YouTube too.
We're on YouTube, yes, the world can watch. But no, what needs to happen is proper public forums, and not just like the phony tour that we've had with a so-called independent chair, who I would challenge, who's not independent. You go, you give your proper thing on both sides, and then you have to ask. And then you have to ask for permission. That's how it goes. That's very clear and basic. I would have to do that if as I said,